Every once in a while, we stumble upon an episode that leaves a bitter taste in our mouth. Not only as we're watching, but long after the story ends. An episode wicked enough to lower our spirits, flood our mind with despair, and simply make us sick at heart. Though it's the glimpses into happiness and glimmer of hope that makes them all worth your while. This is where episode 13 of Darling in the Franxx heavily reminded me of Erased or Boku dake ga inai machi's episode 3. Both of these episodes will have an impact on me emotionally for years to come. They are both two of the best episodes of anything I have ever seen due to just how much raw emotion they evoke. Darling in the Franxx's Beast and the Prince episode and Erased Birthmark episode both delicately convey not only the horrors felt by the abuse of a child, but the savior and the promising light at the end of the tunnel. We practically opened the episode to Zero Two as a child chained to a wall, and I think it's possible it was one of her own kind that gave her the fairy tale picture book. Because this was forbidden, the stand-in mother was abruptly removed. The emotions flood almost as soon as the episode begins, and the troubling cruelty behind these actions was a grief-stricken awakening to the history of the plantation that we've known not very much about. The room is covered in scratches, most likely from Zero Two's desire to escape this horrible place, and the lack of care for this child is unsettling to say the least. But I believe the moment those sorrowful feelings turn to anger and hatred are when we see Zero Two growling as she's dragged through a room of adults staring at her as if she has no feeling, and a wondering Hiro starstruck by her horns. When Zero Two's eyes widen, I was boiling with indignation, and the next scene of her gruesome torture by Dr. Franxx, it really makes me wish every adult there would be brutally killed. That scene was truly dark. And now don't get me wrong, there is some fucked up anime out there, but for a series that's only been moderately violent thus far, strapping a child to the table and torturing her as she shrills was unexpected and appalling. Similar to stumbling upon an abused and trembling Hinazuki in Erased, the desolate misery quickly turns to animosity towards the mother, and these feelings are perfectly conveyed by our main characters. After Hinazuki screams out in despair, Satoru's hands become fists aimed at her mother, and soon after the incapability of saving her sets in, he anxiously begins to break, similar to Hiro, as he faces the shock of Zero Two's next torture sequence. The very strong feelings felt by these main characters are very adequately portrayed to the audience, and we really feel what they are feeling. Both of these series are animated by A1 Pictures, and both of them express the dark aspect of abuse and torture to the viewer, eliciting these emotions that cause us to empathize with the characters on a more immersive scope. Both of them also occur on drab, snowy days, enforcing these bitter feelings. Now let's talk about how these shows decide to proceed from the violence, wavering our anger into sort of a melancholic hope. They both begin with the MC taking action because the girls are chained down by the forces that we've come to vigorously despise. After her restraint and torture, Zero Two is thrown into the frigid, dingy floor by the adults with nothing but a bathroom and her picture book, while Kaio goes from being trapped in a freezing shed to have her face jammed into a freezing cold water bath by her mother. The two are confined to their own hells, barely able to move, so who is going to change things for them? Well, the empathetic boy who's curious and valiant enough, of course. In a moment of bravery, Hiro breaks Zero Two from her cage, and the small light of hope flickers within our our souls. By contrast, Satoru stands up for Hinazuki as the class berates her and yells at her about being poor, and Satoru also declares her mother to be the abuser. In both series, light piano and a brighter palette accompany the mood change. There's so many heartwarming moments between Hiro and Zero Two. How could you not ship them after all of this? And the same for Hinazuki and Satoru. Hiro wraps up Zero Two's feet as they oppose the freezing snow. Satoru offers Hinazuki his gloves before they go hiking up the mountain. Hiro builds a snowman with Zero Two, gives her a name, reads to her, licks her wounds, and becomes her beloved darling, while Satoru walks Hinazuki to see the foxes and radiant Christmas tree beneath the starlit sky. There's so many beautiful moments to contrast the darkness early in the episode that I feel makes these two of the greatest episodes of all time, like I said, pulling on our heartstrings ever so vigorously.
ちょっと待って。はい。クリスマスツリー。バカなの？
Now, few people know the characters better than the ones who voiced them, so let's take a look at what Zero Two's voice actor, Haruka Tomatsu, had to say. She's been quoted saying visually, the point that stands out are Zero Two's horns. She's conscious about them herself, and they will become a key aspect as the story unfolds, which we're already seeing. When it comes to her personality, there's a side of her that is unexpectedly innocent, and she has this girlish cuteness that's right for her age. She's not just some mysterious figure. For the emotionally charged scenes, Haruka says that she's playing the role as she's flipping a switch on and off. And I think it's really important that Haruka-san notes Zero Two's girlish cuteness, and she's not just this mysterious figure, because like we've seen, the adults are already dehumanizing her. The horns are so important as well. In episode 14, while Zero Two goes from her deep companionship with Hiro to total forced distance, her horns go from tiny to massive. This isn't the only point to pay attention to. Let's look at the beginning and the current state of Darling in the Franxx.
君を味合わせて、今から君が僕のダーリンだ。
Zero Two's constantly licking herself and everyone else. Well, who was licking her wounds in the beginning? It was Hiro. She hasn't seen someone cry in a very long time. As we later find out, that person was Hiro crying. The hands reaching out, where Darling originated, the naming of Zero Two, Escape, and even Zero Two's sweet tooth all originate from Hiro. Moments like these make me so excited to rewatch and look out for all the Easter eggs in the future. Tomatsu's also been quoted saying, I guess Hiro can't help it because of the environment he grew up in, but he does break a girl's heart in many ways, unintentionally. The fact that she says that honestly scares me for the future of Zero Two and Hiro. I'm just not sure what's to come. Lastly, Haruka-san says when you dig into a single mystery, such as what Klaxosaurs are, you'll find a daisy chain of mysteries following, and your level of enjoyment will be doubled as each is solved. There's a massive mountain waiting at the end of the first core, and I would be glad if you could enjoy watching till the end. So Haruka-san said that there's a massive mountain at the end of the first core. I'm thinking she's speaking of episode 13, but she's also told us that she can't wait for everyone to see episode 15. So I'm wondering if things will darken further from here, or hopefully lighten. Either way, I'm expecting something crazy, and I'm hoping Zero Two will return. Regardless, look back at the first episode. You see Zero Two smiling in her uniform. All I can say is I hope Hiro and Zero Two end up together in the end. I could really care less about the other characters right now. Please don't let this turn out like Erased did. That would be a tragic end to an otherwise beautiful series. Honestly, that is probably why so many people are pissed off at Ichigo right now. And last but not least, please Trigger and A1 Pictures, just protect that smile. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have not yet, I highly recommend you watch each of these series on crunchyroll.com/soul, free in HD. You guys can find the link in the description. Darling in the Franxx is ongoing every week, and Erased has been finished really after episode 3 of Erased. As the show was releasing, we were all thinking it had the potential to be one of the greatest animated series ever, as long as they didn't mess up the ending, but of course they had to ruin it. I mean, we all wanted Satoru to end up with Kaio, Sanbei. You had one job, man. I actually rewatched it on Crunchyroll recently, and the ending still hits you like a ton of bricks. The show just had so much potential. I'll probably be picking up the manga soon too, especially since the Japanese publishers, Kadokawa, have started working with me, and Kadokawa's official website, global.bookwalker.jp, is also doing a very special giveaway right now. If you guys buy any Erased manga using my code SOULANI in all lowercase, you will not only get $5 off, but also be entered to win an autographed shikishi board by the author of Erased, Kei Sanbei, or if you purchased volume 8, you guys will get a digital shikishi board as a bonus from Bookwalker as well, and that's only from them. Again, if you guys would like to read the Erased manga along with me, all the links will be in the description. Until the 25th of April, use my code SOULANI and get yourself some awesome manga. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed the video, and let me know your thoughts on what emotional impressions anime has made on you in your lifetime. Subscribe if you're new here, and make sure to click that bell because I have to say that now as YouTube ruins everything. Come chat with me over on Twitter and Instagram about Franxx each week. I watch it on every Saturday, and I'll see you guys in the future. 02, best girl. Ichigo fans, fight me.
ごめん、悲しいお話だな。